Most people think their passwords are safe. They're not. And it's not because hackers magically guess them, it's because of how the modern internet works. Over 17 billion accounts have been exposed in data breaches. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why even strong passwords fail, and the simple steps that actually protect you. Think about how many online accounts you have. Email, banking, social media, shopping sites, subscriptions. The average person has over 100 accounts. If you're like most people, you've probably reused the same password or variations of it across multiple sites. Maybe you added a number at the end or swapped out a symbol. It feels safer that way. But here's the problem. Big companies get breached constantly. Millions of passwords are exposed at once. And even if your password is strong, it's only as safe as the least secure website you've ever used it on. Think about it. That random forum you joined in 2015, that old shopping site, that fitness app you forgot about, any one of those could expose everything. That's the reality we're working with. Let me show you how this actually plays out. Imagine someone. Let's call them Sarah. Sarah's careful online. She uses one strong password. Tropical 2019! Something she came up with on vacation. It has uppercase letters, numbers, symbols. It looks secure. One day, a small forum she signed up for years ago gets breached. She doesn't even remember that account exists, but her email and password are now in a database being sold on the dark web. Attackers don't try to hack Sarah directly. They just try her leaked password on her email account. It works. Then they try it on her bank. It works. Social media. It works. Sarah wasn't hacked. The website was. But because she reused that password, attackers now have access to everything. This is called credential stuffing, and it's responsible for a huge portion of account takeovers. So let's talk about why passwords fail in the first place. Let's break these down into 3 categories. What you do wrong, what companies do wrong, and what attackers do. What you do wrong. Password reuse is the biggest vulnerability. This is the most common mistake. One breach cascades across all your accounts. Weak or guessable formats make things worse. Passwords like summer 2024! Feel strong, but they follow predictable patterns that attackers exploit. What companies do wrong. Old breaches are everywhere. Even if you changed your password years ago, if you reused it somewhere else, it's still circulating in attacker databases. LinkedIn, Yahoo, Dropbox, Adobe, Equifax. All these companies, with hundreds of millions of users combined, have been breached. In the last decade, billions of passwords have been leaked. Dark web password lists are the result. Attackers collect these breached passwords and compile them into massive lists. They buy and sell them. They use them in automated attacks against every major platform. What attackers do. Phishing tricks you into typing your password into a fake website that looks exactly like the real one. Keyloggers, malware on your device that records every keystroke, can capture passwords as you type them. Data brokers and leaked information make guessing easier. Personal details from old data breaches help attackers build profiles that make targeted attacks more effective. Strong password advice is outdated. Now, you've probably heard the classic advice. Make your passwords complex. Use uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, change them every 90 days. Here's the thing. That advice is outdated. All those complexity rules make passwords harder to remember, but not much safer, because they still follow predictable patterns. Capital letter at the start, symbol at the end, a number that's probably the current year. Modern password cracking tools can try billions of combinations per second. They know these patterns. Here's the math. A password like password 2024 with an @ and a 0 can be cracked in seconds, but a passphrase like coffee, lamp, bicycle, tornado, that would take centuries, and you'll actually remember it. The newer guidance from organizations like NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, says something different. Passphrases are better than complex passwords. A passphrase is just a string of random words. Length beats complexity. Randomness beats patterns. Here's the scope we're dealing with. Billions of credentials are out there right now. These aren't isolated incidents. This is constant. Major companies, small websites, apps you forgot you ever used, all of them have been breached at some point. Attackers don't need to hack you individually. They just look you up in these databases. You cannot control whether a company gets breached, but you can control how much that breach affects you, and that's what we're going to fix. So here's what actually works. These are 5 simple, practical steps that will protect you better than any strong password ever could. Step 1. Use a password manager. This is the single most important thing you can do. A password manager stores all your passwords in an encrypted vault. It generates long, random, unique passwords for every single site you use, and it autofills them for you, which actually reduces phishing risk because it won't autofill on a fake site. Password managers aren't just for tech people, they're for anyone who wants security without hassle. Popular options include Bitwarden, which is free and open source, 1Password, and Dashlane. You can start using one in the next 5 minutes. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't putting all my passwords in one place risky? Actually, no. Here's why. Your password manager uses an encrypted vault. That means your passwords are scrambled using military-grade encryption. The only way to unlock it is with your master password, which only you know. The company running the password manager can't see your passwords. Attackers can't access them without your master password. And here's the key point. Using a password manager with one strong master password is far more secure than reusing the same password across dozens of sites. When you reuse passwords, one breach exposes everything. With a password manager, each site has its own unique password. One breach only affects one account. Step 2. Use a long passphrase for your master password. Here's how to make it strong. Use 4 to 6 random words, not "My Dog Fluffy 2024" or lyrics from your favorite song. Truly random words. Something like window, jelly, pine, river, lemon. It's unguessable by attackers but easy for you to remember. You can use a random word generator online or flip through a book and pick words at random. You can even turn it into a mental image to make it stick. Step 3. Turn on two-factor authentication everywhere. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, adds a second layer of protection. Even if someone has your password, they can't get in without that second factor. Use an Authenticator app like Google Authenticator or Authy or Microsoft Authenticator. These are free apps. Avoid SMS-based 2FA when possible. Text messages can be intercepted. With two-factor authentication turned on, most attacks are blocked immediately. Pro tip. Take screenshots of your 2FA backup codes and store them in your password manager. That way, if you lose your phone, you can still access your accounts. Step 4. Check if your passwords have been leaked. There's a free tool called Have I Been Pwned that lets you search your email addresses to see if it's appeared in any known data breaches. If it has, here's what to do. Change the password on that account immediately. Make it unique using your password manager and turn on 2FA. Finding your email in a breach isn't the end of the world. It just means you need to take action, and now you know what to do. Step 5. Stop reusing passwords forever. Here's the simplest rule. You don't need strong passwords, you need unique ones. Every account gets its own password. No exceptions, no variations. Your password manager handles this for you automatically. You can't stop data breaches, but you can stop attackers from reusing your passwords across multiple accounts. And that's where real security comes from. So here's the bottom line. Passwords fail because websites fail, not because you do. But with unique passwords, strong passphrases, and two-factor authentication, you're covered for about 95% of attacks. You can start right now. Download a password manager, create one strong passphrase, and turn on two-factor authentication on your most important accounts. That's it. On this channel, I break down cybersecurity and AI in simple, practical ways, without the hype, without the fear, just what actually works. In the next video, we'll talk about how your phone tracks everything. Location, apps, searches. I'll show you what you can actually control and what you can't. Practical privacy, not paranoia.